the Catholic bishop, in their statement, they made outright accusations against the president. In the room.
What did they accuse him of?
One-party state, Muslim of opposition, wanting to win election by all means. Just, certain narrative.
So there's no hunger in the land?
Hold on. All those guys, these are, some of these things are not scientific claims.
Really?
Hold on. Let me answer.
Did the president not say we will wrestle ourselves to the ground? Did he not say that?
Yes, he said that.
What does that mean?
It means you want to take power from me. I won't allow you to come and take. I will defend my position. I will promote my own government agenda. I will defend my position. I will defend my turf. I will work hard to win the election. That is what he meant.
Why did the president not use these sentences he just used? Why did he use this allegory or this metaphor of wrestling ourselves to finish?
Because it's
a fight to finish.
Power, contest for power.
Why is President Tinubu withholding Osun State local government money? Why?
He didn't withhold their local government money. Listen now. You should have asked me how.
That's what not how. Why?
Okay.
Why?
And I'm not telling you.
Yes.
The president did not withhold.
Even as we speak.
Hold on, and let me break it down,
yes.
sir.
Where did President Tinubu attend primary and secondary schools? Where? Give us the names.
When you see him, ask him that question yourself. I'm not President Tinubu.
You are his spokesperson. You speak for him directly.
That is not part of the requirement to be elected as Nigerian president.
It is not?
It's not.
The constitution says you must
be educated up to, and yeah, it's educated up to university.
But for you to have gone to university, you must have gone to primary and secondary school. Is that not logic? Isn't that logic?
In fact, there are people where you can say that in a way, but is like I said. This is Naija Unfiltered on SYMFONI CV. My name is Olawale Oluwade, and my guest today is Mr. Tope Ajayi, Senior Special Assistant to the President Bola Tinubu on Media and Publicity. My brother, good morning. Good morning, and good to be here.
Nice to have you.
Finally.
This is your debut. We've been going back and forth on this.
Yes,
so finally, nice to have you.
I made it.
Yes,
thank you.
You made it. Let's start with the just concluded Osun elections. You were there.
Yes, I was on the ground.
Exactly. ACP the Accord Party just handed the APC a resounding defeat in that election against all the odds I might add, The margin of loss was about 60,
above
66,000.
Yeah.
They
actually widened the lead this time.
Exactly.
Last one was about 20,000.
Exactly. What happened? What went wrong for APC?
Well, democracy prevailed, and the will of the people prevailed.
Wow.
And the president, immediately after the election, even before the final tally, when it was clear, at least from the results that coming out of the polling unit and all Nigerians can see on the IRF portal. So by around 10 p.m., it was clear who the winner is going to be. So I think around 12 a.m., 3 a.m., midnight, the president put a call across to Governor Adeleke to congratulate him. And later, around 11 or 12 noon, 11 a.m., 12 noon on Sunday, we issued the formal statement from the villa where the president extended his goodwill to the governor and also charged him to unite the people of the state, regardless of the political choices they made. Of course, there are about 15 people or 15 political parties on the ballot, but it was framed, the media framed the contest to be a 3-horse race, but eventually became a two-horse race. Yeah. So I think, again, I would say democracy prevailed, and it also shows that opposition politics is very vibrant and kicking, contrary to the wrong impression that have been created that President Tinubu was working towards a one-party state. So this is an evidence that any party that did the work will win. So it's all about mobilization. It's all about trust. It's all about convincing the people to believe in your own ideas of how the society or your state or the country should be governed. So if any party or any candidate that is able to convince the people with better ideas, well, you stand a chance of winning. So I think that's what happened in Osun.
Is this a warning shot to the APC about 2027?
No.
We just have 4 months before.
No. APC is on the very...
Is this not an ominous sign to the APC?
Not at all. Not at all. Let me tell you, let me give you this story. You know, about 4 years ago, when the same... Of course, don't forget, Osun election is always the last off-cycle election before the general election. And I remember 2022, right? When we were also on ground. I remember the screaming this day headline of that Sunday, because they made it about Tinubu, because by that time he had come out to announce his aspiration to be president of Nigeria, and he had made the famous Emilokon and Olule in that speech. The Abeokuta declaration. So I remember as we were leaving Osun that early morning, when we got to Ibadan, we bought, the vendors.
Of course.
So I bought a copy of This Day. You know the title, the cover story of that day, Tinubu Lule. You know, so they frame it as a Tinubu election, thinking that having lost APC or Tinubu was not on the ballot. Of course, the Ayatollah was on the ballot, but they made it. The media then, virtually all the newspaper, television, they made it about Tinubu, thinking that would slow his momentum. But he still went ahead to win the APC ticket, and he went ahead to win the general election. So I think the same scenario is going to play out. And what happened in Osun just shows that President Tinubu indeed is a Democrat. He believes in free will of the people. And in his statement before the election that was released on Friday, Thursday, I guess Friday, he charged Osun State people to go out, exercise their franchise, discharge their civic obligation. He called on INEC and security agencies to ensure the integrity of the process and to make sure that they deliver a free, credible election, and to also give the people a sense of security so that people could come out and vote. And if you look at the numbers in terms of turnout, this is one of we have the largest turnout of voters of recent time. Over 50% of collected there were in Osun election 2.3 registered voters, 1.9 people collected their PVC, and almost 1.1 about over 1 million people voted. So that was more than 50% of turnout. So it was because the president used the infrastructure of governance at his disposal, especially the security, to ensure that the atmosphere around Osun State before the election, during the election, and after the election encourage a very transparent process.
Many would disagree with you. This is your last statement. It's very doubtful how many of our viewers, in their millions, would agree with you. You know why? Why? Before the elections of Saturday, August 15th, at least 45 persons lost their lives. The sort of violence that we have not witnessed before in the history of voting in Osun State was enveloped the entire state.
So now, it is shocking. You know, like I said, even before we started this program, that certain narratives are popular on social media doesn't mean that they are actually true. You know, You know, in our environment, Nigerians love, I think globally, not even a Nigerian thing. People love the story of underdog. The David and Goliath anecdote. You know, when somebody feels that somebody higher is dealing with somebody that is perceived as weaker, it doesn't matter whether it is the weaker person that is even doing, that is the troublemaker. It is always assumed that it's the bigger person that wants to subjugate the perceived. Do you know that in Osun, more than 80% and it is fact, of those who were killed or those who experienced any violent action pre the election are actually APC members. And these are documented evidence before the security agencies. But there's a Yoruba proverb that says, I know the concept of asokun rojo, the person who cries the most. So people will think, oh, look at what they have done to him. This person must be very wicked. But that's what Yoruba people call asokun rojo, agba oshikali. So that is the best way to explain what happened. So actually, the Accord people were louder in some of their claims. And people tend to believe that they are more disadvantaged because of this nebulous claim of federal might. This assumption that once a party that belongs to federal government is contesting against another party in a state, of course, there had been experiences in the past where forces of the coercive forces of state that is controlled by federal government had been used against opposition before. It had been used against APC before by PDP government, federally controlled government. It has been used against APC before in Osun, in Ekiti, and so many others. The assumption will be that this is the playback time. APC too will do what previous PDP-controlled federal government had done to opposition. President Tinubu doesn't play like that.
I disagree with you, and I know many listening would disagree.
You don't have to agree.
You know why I disagree
the evidence are there.
No. Why I disagree with you? I'm speaking evidence now.
Okay, yeah, give me the evidence.
The Inter-Party Advisory Council, the gathering of Association of Political Parties, their chairman, they went to visit President Tinubu, immediately assumed office in 2023. I'm telling you facts.
Okay, no.
Yusuf Dantale led that delegation. He's still the IPAC chairman.
Okay.
And he spoke, appealing to the conscience of the president that, okay, now you have become president, head of state, father of the nation, try and make things right, make society better, make democracy.
That is what he's doing.
Hold on, Tope, make democracy better. Yeah. You know what President Tinubu reportedly on record said? He said, now you have provoked me. Why do I have to make anything better for you?
That is not true.
Hold on. Just hold on, Tope. Okay. We're talking facts.
Okay, that is not true. I said that is not true.
Why should I make anything better for you? I suffered when I was in opposition.
He never said that. That is not true.
But okay,
that is not true.
You say it's not true. Now let's talk about this Osun. Let's go back to the Osun evidence. One of your members, Senator Ade Fadahunsi, somebody I know very well, on camera, instructed his followers to go and kill Accord party. He mentioned them, kill them. Now we saw a drama that played out where he sauntered into a police post, like they were going to interrogate him, and then of course sauntered out. And on election day, on Saturday, on election day, this same man was still issuing threats. Right there in the presence of policemen, issuing threats that anybody who comes here and does not vote APC, they should deal. What do you say to this?
Well, one, what he said pre the election, I remember. If you actually said that, I think. Hold on.
Are you saying you didn't see it?
Hold on. I actually didn't watch it. But I saw where he recanted, where he walked back what he said.
Tried to walk back.
He tried. He walked. He said he didn't. He said, kill them with their vote. That was what he said.
That was the first walk back. The second time he said it was what's it called?
Maybe AI. He was quoted out of context.
No, he said it was AI.
Or whatever. So politicians will always say that anyway. But if he actually said that, I think that is not right. It's against the spirit of democratic tenet. Nobody should call for violence as part of electoral process. The president decried during the signing of the accord at the peace
Committee.
Peace committee. The president, in his speech, spoke about hate speech, violent rhetorics, and he condemned it, and he enjoyed politicians to, as we go into this electoral campaign season, that they should eschew such thing, and that there should be no place for violence in the choice of the people make in choosing their leaders. So if President Fadansi actually said those things, even though he had walked it back, I think it's something that is unbecoming of a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and I think it shouldn't happen again.
Okay. Now, still on this issue, you said, oh, the president is a Democrat, and then multi-party democracy is thriving because the president allowed it. I still maintain that many will disagree with you. Many of our viewers will disagree with you. Nigerians in their large numbers will disagree with you.
Not everybody will ever agree with anything.
No,
it's normal.
No, you can say you don't expect 100% agreement.
Yes, no, that's what I'm saying.
But the point is that not many Nigerians would even agree at all. Hold on.
Until you have contested the statistics,
just hold on.
You never can say.
Just hold on. Because if you assess the preparations before the elections, the backdrop of that election was the reported, militarization, heavy militarization. Do you know the number of policemen that were in Osun? Military men were there. Even road safety, VIO, all of those converged on Osun. Guess what? Then the issue of vote buying, the issue of electoral manipulation. Of course, you heard the song that Osun people were singing. Owo wogbo, 50,000. They were even using POS. You guys devised a new strategy of using POS.
I know. That is not correct.
Speak to this.
One, the issue of militarization, I think, again, it's a wrong media framing.
Really?
Yeah, it is, and I will explain. Every off-season election, there's always, historically, since we started having off-season election post-2027, post-2007, when we started having off-cycle election, it has always become a norm because these are isolated elections. So that naturally we generate more attention. And they are prone to all forms of activities that might be antithetical to democratic values. So naturally, security agencies, police, especially DSS, all civil defense, are deployed to ensure that the atmosphere is peaceful and conducive. So, election is not the first election where we are going to see like deployment of police or other security
soldiers.
It's not. It happened in Ekiti. It happened in Anambra. So why is it now being framed as if it's something that never happened before? So, and again, the idea having security guys in their numbers on ground also engendered sense of security to the electorate. People felt secure. I was in Osun for about 5 days. We were traveling across the length and breadth of the state, even through the night. So the fact that you knew that within 1,000 kilometer radius,
1,000 meters,
or 1,000 meter radius of wherever you are, or wherever you move to, you will see a security personnel. Gives you a sense of security. And that also accounted for why we had a large turnout. Of course, there was large mobilization by all the political parties. And don't also forget that one of the obligations or duties of a political party, apart from winning an election, is also to mobilize people, voters' enlightenment. So I think there was a heightened level of voters' mobilization. And the fact that you have a lot of political activities around the election, having a lot of security personnel on ground, gave people confidence to come out, knowing that whatever happens, I'm secured. I'll be protected by the state. So I don't see anything unusual about it.
Okay, let's deal with President Jonathan. made a statement, and I quote, Osun and the need to set new boundaries for political conduct in off-cycle election. That was
I read it.
That was the title.
I read it.
So just a one-sentence quote that says, he warned that the mass deployment of governors, National Assembly leaders, and federal government operatives, including yourself, during elections poses a threat to democracy. So my question, Tope, do you think it was appropriate for more than 22 governors?
No, it wasn't up to
16.
It's not up to 20. I think they are about 12, really.
No, 16.
No, the people, I was there.
You were there, okay. So 12 governors and numerous APC stalwarts from other states to converge on Osun in a show of force. In his words, intended to intimidate the incumbent.
I read the entire statement.
Exactly.
So,
was this right?
well,
was this right?
you know, there's something they call benefit of insight. You know, after you have, and that's one thing I love about Nigerian politicians. They always know the best practices. After office, you know. I remember under President Jonathan. Of course, it's not a statement. I have seen the benefit of, like I said, benefit of insight.
And you agree has earned that statesmanship?
Of course, he has signed it, and I think it's just human nature. When you are no longer on the stage, you have more time to reflect. You probably see things you would have done better if the opportunity were to come again. But I know what he condemned yesterday. He did it very well when he was president.
No, but contrary to what you say, he said in his own time when he got wind that governors or appointees he called them.
That is just political statement. That wasn't true. In his own time, 2 serving governors were not even allowed to enter Ekiti. Soldiers stopped in 2014.
Wasn't that what he's saying? That
no,
what is your business
he
there?
didn't allow. Meanwhile, PDP governors were in the state campaigning for Fayose. But he didn't allow APC governors to even enter Ekiti. They were stopped at the border between Ondo and Ekiti.
Perhaps the president having security intelligence that maybe they were going there to foment trouble.
No, again, there's nothing wrong in party stakeholders. Like I said earlier, this is an off-cycle election. There is nothing wrong in political parties mobilizing their apparatchik to support one of their own. It's normal. All the parties do it. I think what President Jonathan was alluding to in his statement yesterday was, after you have campaigned for your party, you have mobilized for your party, you don't have any role to play on the election day.
You are not voting.
You are not voting. I think that is the point he was making. So a lot of people have misinterpreted what he said. It's not, President Jonathan wasn't saying party stakeholders should not go and support one of their own. Again, I think for me, it's also part of what I would consider election management. People want to see through. Some of them are also, again, contrary to a precedent being created by the statement too, these people, you will never see them roaming around on election day. They will probably be in the hotel, in the situation room, looking at the, responding to issues on ground, looking at the numbers, and maybe on the ground assessment. So I think it's neither here nor there. But the principle of what he said, I tend to share that sentiment. But in politics, nothing is cast in iron.
Part of the mischief, that his statement as a statesman was meant to cure, played out, on Saturday in Osun State. How do we know? Because Davido, the nephew to the incumbent governor, was tweeting regularly and was calling out names. He called out Honorable Faleke, Kogi State House of Reps member, that stop putting pressure on INEC officials. He called out Godswill Akpabio.
Forget all of that. He was just playing.
So when you say that
he was just playing to the gallery.
Do you think so?
Yes, Davido was an active participant in the process. He went all out for his uncle to win an election, right? It was part of his. He even had the position in the campaign structure. So it's an interested party. So he wasn't speaking or he wasn't tweeting out of altruism. All his tweets, all his activities were partisan. He wanted his uncle to win. And he felt if you can rile up the social media, he was making posts. Let me tell you, if the video, it's just that we're in a democratic society where there's freedom of speech, people are allowed to say whatever they want to say on social media. If 99% of what the video says or tweets on social media, in many countries, he won't dare it because it will be picked up. Come and provide evidence. Right? He won't dare all the things that he does on social media in Rwanda or in Ethiopia.
In terms of politics?
Yes, in terms of politics. Because you don't make reckless claims that you don't have evidence to support it. And these things are capable of inciting the public into violence. You were making allegations against Senate President, making allegations against Honorable Faleke, making allegations against the President, tweeting all sorts of bladadash, just because of politics and because of freedom that our democratic culture or democratic experiment has afforded us. It shouldn't be abused. And severally, on many occasions, Davido has abused the right and freedom that democracy guarantees.
Okay. I'm glad you opened this can of worms yourself about reckless rhetorics that are capable of inciting the public or signaling to desperate mischief makers in political fold. The president, when he met with the Catholic bishops, said a number of things that were really shocking. You know, one of them that is so mind-blowing for a president was that all is fair in politics. Would you not say that if you're accusing the
No.
the president is also guilty?
You only had like less than 2 minutes clip out of probably 20 minutes meeting. And I'm going to give you the context within which the president spoke. When the Catholic bishop, in their statement, they made outright accusations against the president. In the room.
What did they accuse him of?
One-party state, Muslim of opposition, wanting to win election by all means. These are just substantiated claims. Like I said, certain narratives.
So there's no hunger in the land.
Hold on. All those guys, some of these things are not scientific claims.
Really?
Hold on. Let me answer. There are certain narratives are popular, are emotional things that people say. By the time you drill down to the granular, when it comes to dealing with the facts, you will see that oftentimes facts don't support those claims. But because they are popular, and religious leaders, by their calling, they are supposed to aggregate what they think is the popular view on the street. However, what the president was saying in response to them, because actually, while they were talking, really, because he came with a prepared speech, long speech, he was taking copious note, deliberate, diligent note of all the points they raised. And it took time to be responding to them one after the other. So on issue of opposition, one-party state, he said no. He said no. That view is not correct. He said, except you are asking me to roll the red carpet for those who want to hang me. If that is what will satisfy you, or what will satisfy the opposition, for them to admit that that opposition is free, everything is going to be perfect, free and fair. The only definition of free and fair of a non-one-party state will be that Tinubu should provide the guillotine with which they are going to use to cut his neck. He now said, these people, there's nothing they don't throw at me. That the opposition, there is nothing the opposition has not thrown at him. And for them, everything is fair in politics. But they don't want me, they just want me to stand in akimbo for them to take my life. He said that is the only thing that will satisfy the opposition. So that is the context within which he used the
Phrase.
all is fair. He's saying they throw everything at me because they believe all is fair in politics. But he only now said, but I will not roll red carpet for them to come and put leech on my neck. I think that is what the president said. I think it's important that we...
Did the president not say we will wrestle ourselves to the ground? Did he not say that?
Yes, he said that.
What does that mean?
It means you want to take power from me. I won't allow you to come and take. I will defend my position. I will promote my own government agenda. I will defend my position. I will defend my turf. I will work hard to win the election. That is what he meant.
Why did the president not use these sentences he just used? Why did he use this allegory or this metaphor of wrestling ourselves to finish?
Because
it's a fight to finish.
Power, contest for power is a wrestling in another form. Politics is a contact sport.
Is it?
It is.
Really?
Yes, it's a contact sport.
Like jiu-jitsu or karate or judo?
Yeah, it's a contact sport.
Are you serious?
They will throw everything at you. In fact, in a more decent and sophisticated society, maybe in the Western world, there are red lines that you don't bring into politics. You don't bring children. You don't bring family. So that is whether it's not a written law, but it has become
a tradition,
a convention. Whether you don't bring people's health into politics, you don't bring their children into politics, you don't bring their family members. So you focus on the person and the issues. But in our climb, has there been anything these people have not thrown at the president? So if that is fair to them, if decency, if these people are not decent, there was a time I had this kind of encounter with Dr. Abati on his radio program in Lagos. I said, the office you seek, the highest office of the land that you seek, that Article 6, that Peter Obi is seeking, or any other presidential candidate they are seeking, that is the symbolism of Nigeria. That is the highest office. You may not like the current occupant, but never diminish the office. Because that is the word you are seeking. Because once you diminish the office, you have diminished yourself. The myth around the office should never be shattered because of ambition. It must be protected. And that is what civilized politicians do around the world.
Fantastic. I love what this bit you said about the myth, but rather I think the word you were looking for is the halo. Like that halo on the head of Jesus Christ, that gives you that aura of,
the aura.
The aura of, wow, this is so grand, this is so great. But is the president living up to this, your standard? Is it president himself? Because listen here, my brother, when the president is defending INEC, saying INEC is very impartial, INEC is not intimidating anybody, is it right for the president to do that?
Yes. Because part of his job as the president is to defend the integrity of the institutions of state.
INEC is an independent institution.
Is still an institution of state created by the Constitution. And the president swore to protect and uphold the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So you want the president to say that INEC is partisan? He's the president. His job is to protect the state and the institutions of state against unfair and undue and hostile attack. And don't forget that INEC carries the burden of ensuring the integrity of our electoral process. It will have been unprecedented for the president to sit down in a meeting where the integrity of a of an important decision of state is being discredited or is being assaulted.
How did the Catholic bishops, how did they assault or discredit INEC? They simply demanded that INEC, from the outlook of members of society generally, seems to not be an impartial body. Seems to be playing a script handed over to it by the ruling party.
That is not correct.
And that is the general consensus of. No, just hold on. Let me make the point. So, but the president jumped quickly, strenuously.
You were not in the meeting.
No, what I mean is, I watched it.
Oh, you watched a part?
Yes, I watched it. And that bit that I watched left me flustered. You know why? The president was defending INEC as if, as if he was INEC chairman or the INEC publicity secretary. It is the job of the publicity director of INEC or the chairman to speak in that fashion.
The president did the right thing by defending, by saying INEC is not partial. And there's actually no evidence that INEC is partial. There's none. So if you are saying INEC is partial or partisan, did you bring any evidence to say, and this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, INEC did against opposition parties and in favor of the ruling party? None. You can't just make a claim.
I hate to do this, but let's since you asked for evidence. I mean, like I said, the evidence.
Okay, please give me one.
Let me give you one. When earlier on in the year, before party primaries and all of those, a judge here, Peter Lifu, woke up and said, "Oh, Supreme Court, Appeal Court has asked them to against direct order of the Appeal Court that it should stay action on a suit brought by the so-called incorporated trustees of former legislators. Said, 5 political parties should be deregistered." And quickly, before you knew it, Peter Lifu ordered that the ADC be deregistered, Accord Party and all of those. If that order had stood, Accord will not win in Osun State. ADC will not win.
No.
Another case involving ADC by Bala Gombe.
Yeah.
The Supreme Court said, maintain status quo until before you could say Jack. Not only did the INEC goof by even listening, it's now decided by itself to interpret status quo antebellum to mean decapitation of the entire NWC.
I think that's your interpretation.
Really?
See, listen. I think let's be fair here.
Yes.
We have 3 arms of government.
Yes.
That are independent of each other.
But co-equal.
Especially the judiciary. President Tinubu doesn't interfere.
Really?
In any judicial matter.
Are you serious?
I'm more than serious.
Are you serious?
I'm more than serious.
The perception of the...
See, perception is not reality now.
Really?
Yes. It's not. Perception is not reality.
Are you serious?
Because let me say, there's a lot of assumptions out there that are not true. Now, a court of competent jurisdiction, you know that I think it was Justice Esho, God rest his soul.
Kayode
Esho. Was it the one? I don't know whether one of the Supreme Court judges then. You may not like the judicial pronouncement, but once it is made, you are bound to obey until a superior court decides otherwise. INEC did not take itself to court. Right? It is the same politicians. It is the same member of the same ADC or LP or Accord Party. They are the ones that took themselves to court. Oh, don't recognize this one as chairman. Don't recognize this person as NWC. Don't recognize this. Use this symbol. Somebody is using my copyright infringement. And some of these cases, especially the one incorporated trustee, they even preceded President Tinubu's assumption of office. Go and look at some of the cases preceded him. Even the ADC matter, they have been in court before 2023. But of course, you know some of the ways some of our cases drag in. So the court made pronouncement. INEC decided to act on judicial pronouncement. When there were also superior order of court, INEC obeyed. So how is that a business of President Tinubu? Or how was that his business?
is the president right to say there is no hunger in the land? Hold on, there is no hunger in the land. And that before he was born, hungry people, hunger has always existed. Is that a right thing for a presidential, someone who like you said now, if any of the candidates, Peter Obi or Atiku or Omoyele Sowore or whoever, Adebayo Adewale or Donald Duke, if any of them talk, I know you're a very good Christian, if any of these guys stand up during campaign season now and says, hunger has been here before I was born, so it's not my business to deal with hunger. How would you feel?
So it is the reality. Okay, you because you have said I'm a Christian.
Are you not a Christian?
And I'm a Christian.
I was afraid for a minute.
I thought you wanted to
faith.
say once you have alluded to my faith and religion and religious belief, that was the point I was trying to make. Even Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, when some people were going to, when was it one of his disciples? Was it Peter, Judas Iscariot? When he was going to use the poor as a cannon fodder to do evil, Jesus said, "Leave that one. The poor will always be among us, regardless of what you do. And there is no society in the world, even the most prosperous societies, you still have poor people. Otherwise, in America is the richest country on earth, but there are still a lot of poor people, homeless people, right? But that does not mean it is right. Every government around the world continues to evolve policies, program, initiative that will address the issue of poverty. I think the point the president was making is, for the past 100 years or more, politicians have always made people are hungry. They have always weaponized it. That's the point he was trying to make. The people have always weaponized it. And go and look at all our newspapers from 1914, when Reverend Eric Townsend, when he started the first publication, Iwe Iroyin. Go and look. If you pick any newspaper, old archival, and I mean, let's even say from 1960 or from 1940, by the time you substitute the date, it will, some of the things that were reported 40, 50, 60, 70 years ago that made the headline 70 years ago, they still make headline today.
Is that not an indictment on our leadership?
It is not, because, see, Bible says there's nothing new under the sun, right? So the job of a country, of a leader, the job of a country is an unfinished business. The job of a country. So it's like it's a relay, it's a baton. You do your best, another person will come. So, and let's be frank and be honest with ourselves, Nigeria of today is far better than Nigeria of 50 years ago. The kind of poverty we had 70, 80 years ago, we don't have it again. So there has been continuous improvement. And it's still a continuous job. And the president is not tired. He's still at it. He's still working day and night to solve some of the problems.
Okay, finally on this Osun bit, and dovetailing from your last sentence, you think a minority segment of society, especially people, APC apparatchiks, are saying, oh, Mr. President is a Democrat, I even saw a newspaper today saying number one winner is President Tinubu. I'm wondering where did they get. Anyway, my question, Tope, is that, was it not the determination of Osun citizens who have been battered, allegedly, by the policies of the president, hunger, and all of insecurity and all of those? Is it not their determination, their resoluteness? Not only, you referenced it, massive, unprecedented turnout, and then voting and staying there, ensuring that their votes counted. Even following it up to the collation center, making sure the right thing. Is credit not due to them rather than the president?
Nigeria is a country of hyperboles. We love using hyperboles. Hold on. The people are poor. Our educational system has collapsed. There is systemic failure. Everybody will be using big pejorative words or analogy. That is not true. Okay, you said the people of Osun State have been pauperized by poverty and all of that. That's not true. Okay, the same people of Osun said the reason why they voted for Governor for Accord Party and Governor Adeleke is because he has made their life better, right? That he's paying their salary and pension as I went due. That he is clearing
outstanding backlogs.
Backlog of
pensions and
backlog. He's doing road.
Yes.
Of course.
I know where you're going.
People vote for different reasons,
I know
right?
where you're going.
Who made it possible for Governor Adeleke to be able to do all the things they ascribed to
Yeah, who
him?
made it possible?
The President Tinubu.
How? Because of more money.
It's just see. Let me tell you this. Governor Adeleke, in 3 years, has got more FAC allocation than what Aregbesola and Oyetola got in 12 years. So if the same fiscal environment that prevailed under Oyetola and Aregbesola is subsisting, there's no way Governor Adeleke could have cleared backlog of areas. He would be struggling too to pay salary. Let me tell you, yesterday evening, I was with Mr. Honorable Wale Akitenrewa, former Commissioner of Finance in Osun State. He has actually served 2 governors. He was Commissioner of Finance under Mimiko, and he was Commissioner of Finance under late Governor Akeredolu. So we saw a news flash. We were just debating policy issues. So we saw a news flash that FAC, July, yesterday, they had the FAC meeting. They shared 3 trillion. That's what was shared yesterday for July FAC allocation. The man said, hey, that this is the best time to become governor. He said, as Commissioner for Finance in Osun State for 8 years, 4 years under 2 different governors, especially under Akeredolu, that they were always struggling to pay salary. By the time Mimiko was leaving, Mimiko also left 6 months or 8 months unpaid salary and pension, which Akeredolu inherited. He told me the highest they were getting, any best month when he was Commissioner for Finance in Osun State was like 4 billion. And the state salary obligation alone, both for workers and pensioners, is probably around 7-8 billion. So if you're a Commissioner of Finance and you're a governor, you have obligation of say 10 billion, and your best revenue, but your FAC is 4 billion. Even your internal, by the time you do your internal IGR, maybe additional 2-3 billion, 7 billion, and you have 10 billion monthly obligation. So those are the issues. So, and the issue of poverty, oftentimes people, we misstate it, or we misframe it. We have reduced poverty. If Human Development Index by World Bank or international indices, it's not just about food. And oftentimes what I've seen in our public discourse is reducing poverty to, people are hungry, 99% of issues around poverty are actually fall within the responsibility of state and local government. In Human Development Index, how do you measure poverty? You measure poverty, of course, food is one of them, food security, sanitation, access to clean water, access to electricity,
education,
healthcare. These are largely responsibility of state. And so let's even say
state and local government. Why is President Tinubu withholding Osun State local government money? Why?
He didn't withhold their local government money. Listen now. You should have asked me how.
That's what not how. Why?
Okay.
Why?
And I'm not telling you.
Yes.
The president did not withhold.
Even as we speak.
Hold on, and let me break it down,
yes.
sir. Supreme Court delivered a judgment last year or 2 years ago, that any local government, it was a Supreme Court judgment, that local government that doesn't have democratically elected leadership, the federal government should no longer release their monthly fact to them until they have done that. It is an aberration for local government to be run by hand-picked administrator by governors. That's a Supreme Court judgment. The president has no leeway to disobey. That's the highest court in the land. So it's a Supreme Court judgment. So the federal government is only obeying Supreme Court judgment. There is no democratically elected local government in
Are you
those
aware
states.
that Governor Adeleke's party, then PDP, that they conducted local government elections?
Which was declared illegal by court.
You know, I don't want us to go into that because that's
But that's the truth.
to imagine that a President Tinubu that was governor of Lagos State that suffered the same fate.
No, he didn't. He suffered the same fate, not the same way.
Of
Not the same circumstances.
Yes.
Not the same circumstances.
Not the same circumstances.
Yeah.
But I will be the same person that will be because
No.
hold on.
No. Let's be clear.
Okay.
Supreme Court deliver a judgment that any state or any local government that is not democratically, that doesn't have a democratically elected leadership, federal government should not release their fact.
Absolutely.
So what do you want the president to say? To do?
But I'm telling you that. Are you aware that Governor Adeleke's party then conducted local government elections?
He dissolved democratically elected local government. He dissolved them illegally. They went to court and they won, and the court restored them. So it means that the election Adeleke concluded was declared illegal by the court.
Are you aware that this deprivation of local government funds was a major reason of the angst of the people of Osun State that voted against APC?
Well, I'm not aware that is one of their reasons.
Okay. let's leave that because maybe another time we'll come and exhaustively discuss this. You said here, my brother Tope, that the president represents the embodiment of our values, of our ideals.
Yeah. But the law
and all of that. Why did not Tope? Hold on, please.
Okay.
This event did not happen in Yenagoa. It did not happen in Bakassi Peninsula. It did not happen in Zamaturu. So you'd have said, oh, the president had states, whatever. Even though the president could go anywhere, it happened here in Abuja, FCT.
Yeah.
5 minutes from the villa.
Yeah.
They'll shut down the road and they'll go there. Why was the president not there to lead by example?
But there are some other opposition candidates were not there.
Only one.
Atiku was not there.
But Atiku is not the president.
Makinde was not there.
Makinde is not the president.
The president, under the Nigerian constitution, can delegate responsibility. That's why he has minister. That's why he has other appointees. So he signed the most senior person in the executive arm. After the most senior unelected, because after the president, of course, vice president is not around, he's on leave. I'm sure if the president couldn't make it yesterday because of other state matter, he signed his SGF. His speech was delivered.
Could the president not have spoken to his vice president to say
he's on leave now?
It does not matter.
Why would you call him back? The vice president is probably due back this weekend. Why do you have to call him back because of peace accord?
So you don't see it as a big deal?
I don't see it as a big deal because the president sent his SGF. That is enough. That is the big representation. That's a big representation.
Okay. Let's move on. Yeah. One of the president's very, very good friend and confidant, former SGF, Babache Lawal. Why are you laughing?
Okay.
I've not even said anything, you're already laughing.
Continue now.
Sat with me here for well over 2 hours, and we had a very, very robust and highly engaging interview. I'm sure you've seen that video. It went viral.
I've seen some of it.
It's still going viral.
Yeah.
You know? He knows the president very well.
They used to be close. So I don't know if I can say that now.
Yes, well, it's a good point, you know, because he himself said so that they used to, but not anymore, you know. And then he advised the president that, based on the president's ill health.
Ill health? Is he his doctor?
Just hold on. He said. I said, and I asked him, I said, how do you know? He said, I've already lived that. We're not fooled. The president is always going to France. Anyway, he said, based on the president's ill health, but more than that.
I don't believe the ill health narrative.
But more than that.
He's not his doctor.
But more than that.
He has ever seen his medical report.
Just hold on. But more than that, let's admit you're right on the ill health,
Those are just, we should use word correctly.
but based on his poor performance, evident poor performance in office.
Who said that?
Babachi Lawa.
Okay.
That the president has achieved his lifelong ambition, the Emilokan, declaration that it is my turn. That you have achieved it. Just let this thing go. Don't seek re-election. Go back and take care of your health. What do you think?
That is not correct. Yeah, he couldn't have said he told the president that because the president has not seen him.
No, he didn't tell the president. He was telling the president here.
He
was using this platform to tell the president.
Yeah, I don't agree with him. Of course, it's now in an opposition figure. So whatever he says, you should see it from a partisan, just expressing a partisan opposition view. The president has done very well in office. He has expanded the economy. The economy is growing at the highest possible rate that we have not seen in the last 10 years.
Really?
He's increased his policies are driving FDI into the economy. Our stock exchange is one of the best performing in the world.
This question is very important. We're in the campaign season,
yes.
So we will not allow you guys, and I'm not talking about APC and President Tinubu, we in the media, especially this platform, we will not allow any presidential candidate or governor to sit down here and hold on.
Okay, I'm not disrupting. I'm not interrupting.
We will not allow any candidate gaslight the public.
What I'm telling you.
Number two, you said he has expanded the economy.
Yeah.
You mentioned the stock exchange. What if I told you that most of the money pouring into the Nigerian stock exchange is what we call in economics hot money? Number three.
For his money.
Number three.
Whether hot
money meaning it can be taken out
but
anytime.
But it has to come in first.
But let's speak.
You are also not correct. 80% of the money on Nigerian stock exchange are local investors.
Now, let's speak about the big money.
No, do you admit that?
I cannot agree with you, definitely.
I said, go ahead.
Tope, don't let.
I have a problem with that.
No, Tope, don't let's
flog
flog that.
Hold on. No, we should flog it. If you are making a claim.
Do you have evidence that 80% is
yes,
from local economy?
Just go and check the NGS report.
Tentatively.
Not tentatively. The NGS management was with the president last week. 80% are Nigerian local investors.
Okay, fine. I concede that to you. So out of 3 that you raised, 5 million jobs, it's a lie.
It's not a lie.
No 5 million jobs
anywhere. There is.
Okay, third one.
Yes.
Let's argue on this.
Yeah.
The president said in 2022 during campaigns that I will produce electricity, and you will not have to do estimated billing. No matter what it takes, you would have steady, uninterrupted electricity. How many megawatts of electricity has been added to this economy? Because that is how economy grows.
Yes, now.
Without electricity, there is no growth anywhere.
Just yesterday.
How many megawatts?
Hold on. Megawatt. The problem is our problem has never been about megawatt because we actually have installed capacity of 15,000. The problem has been the
distribution.
Is distribution and transmission.
Yes.
Today, we have actually moved the needle. We were struggling to even transmit about 4,000, 5,000 before. Under this administration, we are hitting 6,000. Hold on. Just yesterday, about 4 transmission infrastructure were commissioned in Lagos by the Minister of Power that will inject additional capacity to carrying capacity of about over 200 megawatts in Lagos, in Apapa. I've forgotten the location, but just yesterday. So the president is dealing with all the inherited issues in our power sector. One of the things you mentioned was estimated billing. Under this president, almost 1 million meters. What is a presidential metering system initiative. Program, yeah. And under that program, we want to expand the existing number of meters to 7 million. In the last 2 years, I think over 1 million has been done. See, like I said earlier, the business of governance is a continuous one. Continuous improvement. Yeah, they say politicians campaign in poetry and they govern in prose. There are a lot of promises you make. They are promises. You try as much as possible to fulfill them. But it's not possible to fulfill all of them within 1 year or we do 2 years. Some will take 3 years before they are realized. Some will take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years before they are realized. So on aggregate, I think the president has done well so far in implementing or fulfilling all his electoral promises. But we may not have hit 100% target on all those promises, but there is concerted effort.
Should the president have prioritized electricity rather than the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway project? Which is more important? Which should the president have prioritized as being at the core of economic development?
Yes, prioritize electricity, power.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. You know what we're going to do?
Yeah.
We're going to come back here, maybe 3 weeks or so, and exhaustively, and I'm giving you this time to go study, because I can see that if I take on this, I will not be doing justice to you.
Because
go
one, I'm not an energy expert.
You don't have to be. You don't have to.
What I'm saying is,
I want you to go study on this.
Yeah.
We'll come back here 3 weeks to 4 months, 3 weeks to 4 weeks, and exhaustively debate that the president did not prioritize electricity.
He has prioritized it.
Okay.
So
let's leave it.
So no,
Yes.
you can't leave it because you asked a question. I need to land in my response. You can. How did they say? I'm trying to look for the phrase. You can talk and still chew gum, right? The fact that the president is doing Lagos Calabar or
Coastal Highway
or
Chokoto, yeah, Badagry and all of them.
Government does not exist to do only one thing at a time.
The president's repeat of the Muslim ticket was it a carefully thought through decision?
If I don't think there's anybody that I'm trying to be deliberate in my choice of word. I don't think that there's anybody that can take that decision better than the president himself, because it's a personal decision you have to take. The choice of who your running mate will be in fact, it's one of the most consequential decisions in a presidential candidate. In fact, in America, it's one of the ways they judge you whether you are going to be a good president. Because that's the first most important decision you will take. The choice of your vice president. So, 4 years ago, when the president made that decision, all hell was let loose. Some of his friends, even the Babashe Lawa that you referred to earlier.
That was the point of their...
that was the basis of their...
Exactly. Falling out.
Falling out. People like Dogara and all of that. But today, even Boala, who is now one of the... That's one of their...
Exactly.
But today, some of them are back. Right? So, let me tell you what the Muslim ticket has done. Nobody thought it was possible until 1993, when Chief M. Abiola chose Ambassador Babagana Kingiba as his running mate. Some people also raised hell. It's not going to, how will you do that? But Nigerians overwhelmingly voted for it. So oftentimes, there is this, the way we use religion and ethnicity as tool for gaining power. One thing that the President Tinubu and Vice President Shetima ticket 4 years ago did for this country was to kill one of the twin evils that has held this country back.
Has it?
Yes.
Really?
Because the fact that, it has been so weaponized that nobody could even dare it. Nobody could even imagine it. But President Tinubu decided that we should no longer be held hostage by ethnicity and religion. He went for it, and Nigerians still voted, and he still won. So why should you change the winning ticket 4 years after?
So the constitution that talks about inclusion, federal character.
Inclusion does not mean only presidential ticket. Inclusion means every levels of government.
So you are not bothered that 50%, hold on, Tope, that 50% of the Nigerian population is not represented in the ticket.
That's not true.
In the first two jobs.
That is not how to aggregate representation and inclusion.
Oh, really?
That's not how to aggregate it. Because in many states, there are Muslim governor, Christian governor, Muslim deputy governor, Muslim Christian governor and deputy, Christian governor and deputy. And in those states, are you saying there are no Muslims?
Some of those states are states where you have homogeneous populations.
Even some of them where
Let me give you an example. Kaduna State in our backyard here, just in our backyard. Under Nasir El-Rufai, one of the chief proponents of this Muslim tickets. And by the
his
way,
first term was Muslim Christian.
Yes, but then he changed it
to Muslim.
The successor now saw the wisdom to drop the Muslim ticket.
But he's still Muslim. Even at the moment, he's still Muslim.
Yeah,
but at the moment, still Muslim.
They must serve the term now.
Yeah, I'm saying. See, don't let us overplay this religious thing. It's just identity politics.
It's representation.
No, it's not about. What I'm telling you is representation is not only about a presidential or governorship ticket. Representation is about totality of government.
Okay.
It's about totality of government. I mean, okay, you have a Muslim, you have a Christian head of National Assembly. You have a Muslim president. In his cabinet, you probably have more Christian.
Did you watch the video of the Sheikh, the Islamic cleric?
See.
Hold on, okay. Hold on. You said you were talking about religion. The president has killed this one, but you heard the Islamic cleric. Just hold on, Tope.
Yes.
You had the Islamic cleric.
Make your point.
Yes, I'm making it.
Yeah.
The guy came to Kano and he sat before governors and he was making such incendiary statements that we have repeated this Muslim tickets that whoever does not like it, the Christians, we have shown them there were more. They should go and jump. They should leave the country for us. They are infidels.
That is recklessness now. That was reckless.
Is that not what this decision has cost?
No. And do you know how many Islamic clerics have also spoken against that? Somebody expressing his opinion doesn't represent the entire Muslims in the country now. A bishop speaking about something doesn't represent the entire, or a pastor making it does not represent the entire Christian. So
okay.
that is a fact.
Okay.
So that those people expressing their personal opinion. They are not the president. They are not running government.
Okay.
Do you know how many pastors have said a lot of reckless things, political statements that they shouldn't be making? So it plays everywhere. People make reckless, and that is what we are saying, that some of the things people say under the liberty that democracy, freedom of... Some of our people will overstretch some of this freedom. People should know that you must exercise every freedom with responsibility. So a Christian cleric or Islamic cleric should not be making unguarded statements.
Okay. I agree with you on that. Where did President Tinubu attend primary and secondary schools? Where? Give us the names.
When you see him, ask him that question yourself. I'm not President Tinubu.
You are his spokesperson. You speak for him directly.
That is not part of the requirement to be elected as Nigerian president.
It is not? It's not. The Constitution says you must
be educated up to, and he's educated up to a university.
But for you to have gone to university, you must have gone to primary and secondary school. Is that not logic? Isn't that logic?
In fact, there are people where you can say that in a way, but is like I said, where he attended is not a requirement. So when you see him, you can ask him that question yourself.
You are a spokesperson. That's what I'm asking you.
Well, if I'm a spokesperson, it doesn't mean I can speak about everything in his life or his private life.
So are you happy, Tope? Are you happy that there's a cloud over the exact educational qualifications of our president?
No. There's no cloud.
People have gone to court on this. Yes.
See, people are just fishing for what is not lost. Of
really?
course. That is just opposition antics. And let me tell you, for purpose of public education, do you know that in America, where we borrowed our presidential system of government, there is no educational requirement to be an American president?
That's America.
No, listen, I'm just telling you I just want to elevate the argument or the debate. that in an American constitution, there's no educational requirement. You don't need to be educated at all to be American president. The only requirement for you to be American president, I'm sure you know it, is to be born on American soil. That is the only requirement. So what that means is being a president is not so much about, it's good to be educated because it helps your leadership and governance and administration. But there is also the fact of around your innate ability, your leadership qualities. Because as a president, your job is not to know everything. You don't have to be a genius to be a president. You just have to be a good manager and a good leader. So your job is to harness people who will govern with you, and you provide the leadership. And I think President Tinubu has done that very well and effectively.
Let's leave that up. Would you admit that you and your colleagues, Bayo Ononuga, Daniel Buala, yourself, went overboard when you guys attacked His Eminence
That's not correct.
John Cardinal
Onayoku?
Onayoku? You said he breached presidential confidentiality. What was presidential confidentiality?
I never said that. I said, one, I will tell you what I wrote, so don't give it another. Don't give it another.
I don't put words in your mouth.
I don't put words in my mouth. I don't create your own a different headline.
Interpretation, like you said.
So one, Mr. Ononuga never attacked. In fact, he didn't even say anything or write anything about it, other than the official press statement on which gave a report of what happened. One, it's also not correct that I attacked His Eminence, the Cardinal Onayoku, or that Bola attacked him. That is not correct. I think we tried to provide
Did you ask him to apologize or not?
Why would I do that?
What of Daniel?
Well, I'm not aware that I already did that.
Let's do this. Would you want to use this platform to say to the Cardinal, when it comes across the video, that Your Eminence, if whatever I said was misconstrued by bloggers or influencers or
of course, maybe those ones gave it their own meaning.
Your Eminence, I never intended to be disrespectful.
I was never.
My apologies.
I was never disrespectful. So saying that I never intended. I did not disrespect him in any shape, form, or manner. So the issue of I never will never arise because I didn't do it in the first instance.
What's in your view, and as one of the president's aides, is his top three undeniable achievements in the last 3 years? And this top three would guarantee him, they are enough to guarantee him re-election in 2027. Mention them. Top three achievements in the last 3 years that are able to guarantee him re-election in 2027.
First three, number one would be the economic reforms that he embarked on, which is one, removal of fuel subsidy and realignment of the foreign exchange market. Those two policies have stabilized the economy. They have created a good business environment for businesses to thrive. And if you look at all the private sector leaders, all the businessmen, the entrepreneurs, even their sectoral association, both locally and internationally, those reforms have been applauded. There's predictability, and we have seen it evidently in the way foreign FDIs are coming in. I think the last figure was maybe the last 12 months, almost $5 billion had come in FDI, which is into real sector. Apart from the one you talk about, you label hot money, which is less than 20% of what is playing in our stock exchange. So that alone, then the removal of fuel subsidy has also expanded the fiscal space for the subnationals. Like I told you, states that were struggling to pay salaries and pension before are now able to pay. Some of them who could not do any major infrastructure are now, I've been to about 10 states in the last 2 months. We are touring. So we have seen governors are saying things they could not do before. In fact, I remember Governor of Nasarawa, Governor Sule, and Governor of Kwara State said that what they're able to do in 2 years of this term, because both of them are in their second term, that what they did were in terms of investment in social sector, in the education, healthcare, road, in their state. In 2 years of Tinubu's administration, they were not able to do it in the 4 years, in their first 4 years. So they have bigger fiscal headroom to be able to do things. And in fairness, to all the governors, there is no state you get to today that you won't see impactful project, whether it is road, whether it is school, whether it is hospitals. Some of them are renovating their hospitals, renovating their health centers, primary health care centers, renovating their schools, building, expanding road access to rural communities. You see that, and some of them are doing big economic projects.
The first one
That's number one.
Yes.
Number two, for me, will be maybe it's tangentially also tied to the reform, because it is the reform that it is when you have government is about spending, spending on critical areas, on priority areas. Whether say if you don't have money, there's nothing you can do. As it applies to us at micro level, so it applies to government at a larger macro level. So the president is investing hugely on infrastructural renewal. At the moment, Nigeria, the federal government has about 35,000 kilometers of federal roads across the country that are different levels of disrepair.
Okay, so infrastructure investment.
Yeah,
Then
two.
Number three.
Number three will also be security. We have the tide. We have been able to turn the president has been able to turn the tide on security. We, of course, in any moment from now, the process of amending the constitution is ongoing, where we are going to have a state police, because these are issues that we have debated for decades. Nigeria is a big country, over 200 million people. We are under-policed. So the president is, in the last 3 years, the police has recruited, he has given them approval to recruit over 50,000. He has given the military to recruit over 50,000. The last approval was for the army to recruit 28,000, yes, an additional new 4 divisions. So, and if you see that, you notice that in the last 3-4 months, the spate of kidnapping, attack have significantly reduced. So, on those 3 scores, I think the president has done
those
well.
3 scores are highly contentious, highly debatable.
But we have the numbers.
The last one, insecurity. I don't know how many people would agree with you. But let's go to the first one. The policy reforms is the reason why inflation went through the roof and is still there. Because of the high inflation, it affected the value of the naira. That affected purchasing power and threw millions of Nigerians into extreme poverty, acute hunger. Do you disagree with that?
I disagree with
this
that.
Huge money,
I disagree with that.
These huge revenues that the governors are sharing are getting from FAC. What they were doing before President Tinubu came into office with ₦1 million naira, they need ₦5 million to do it now. So is it actually
it is
increase in revenue?
Yeah, it
or
is.
A shadow, a mirage?
That is not.
But that is not for today. We'll come back
Yeah.
and interrogate this.
Yeah.
Final question. Why should Nigerians entrust President Tinubu with 4 years? Why shouldn't Nigeria listen to people like Obachi Elawa and the other candidates in this forthcoming election that this man is old, he's tired, he should go and rest?
Because nobody in the field is providing a better governing vision for the country. None. Okay, the last election, somebody wrote something, I read it, I think I read it on a WhatsApp group yesterday or 2 days ago, or maybe within the last 1 week or thereabout. Somebody said that, before I get to that, all the major 3 presidential candidates in last election said they were going to remove fuel subsidy because everybody recognized that as a major drain. You can't be washing down almost $40 billion annually in a country where your roads, your schools, needs to be fixed.
So we agreed. They all agreed.
Now, so they all agreed. They all agreed that.
Sorry.
Listen,
No.
let me land
They agreed, but
hold on now. We'll get to the but. We'll get to the but. They all agree that having different exchange window is not good for the economy.
finally, and I asked before, I'll repeat it. Why should Nigerians give President Tinubu
I was
4
asking the question before you interrupted me.
No, you were answering, and then you went into somewhere else.
No, I was answering. I was trying to establish my point.
Why?
The reason why Nigerians will vote for him is that he has shown leadership, he has shown courage under fire, and he has shown that he's better than those who wants to contest against him. And he has shown that he has superior idea on how to move this country forward. And he has shown that he can take tough decisions. He has shown that he's a statesman. They say politicians think of next election, but a statesman thinks of where he's taking his country or our country to. Let me tell you this. Before the President Tinubu, before that election, before last year election, before last presidential election, I was in the same room. He called me, invited me, before he even declared for presidency. Okay. He called me to his residence at Asokoro. So at that time, we had been discussing the possibility. And I asked him a question. Sir, why do you want to become Nigerian president? He looked at me. He adjusted his seat. His face changed, the demeanor. I said, Tope, you have asked me an important question. You asked me, why do I want to become president? I said, yes, sir. I need you to answer that question for me before I can support you, before I can go all out for you. He said, I want to be president because I know I can make the difference. Because I know things, important decisions that needed to be taken, that have not been taken. I've left this country, I've held this country down for decades. And he said, they are not difficult, they are tough, but they are not decisions that will make you popular. Mm. And he said, when I get to the office, I'm not going to be leading for popularity contest. But as a statesman, and that was and that's one of the things he did in Lagos. Some of the things he did in Lagos as governor were not popular. But when people saw the result and benefit, his harshest critics aligned with him. So this is a leader who can take bold decisions. He doesn't want to be popular. And he said, again, to conclude, he said, I want to be a president who will always do the right things, even when they will make me unpopular. But he said, doing the right thing for this country. And he said, Tope, again, do you know part of the problem of this country, of Nigeria? We are a low-income economy, where almost 90% of our people are in informal sector, subsistent job. So he wants to grow Nigeria economy to be a middle income economy. We must create high paying jobs in manufacturing, in real sector. And go and read his book. I don't know if you have read it. Financialism, Drawing Water from Empty Well. A book he co-authored with Ambassador Brown. Go and read the book. That book enunciates his governing principle, his governing vision, how a country should be governed. And President Tinubu believes in real sector. He doesn't believe in. Okay, continue.
No. I think you've said enough about why
he should be
re-elected.
Yeah.
But like I keep saying, which is my duty as a journalist, Nigerians would give their own verdict whether they believe him. The candidates running against him, who wants to unseat him, would also have enough time. I haven't watched this.
That is
interrogate some of
that
these
is what the
claims.
president said yesterday. Of course, the speech at the
That
like I
was read
said
on his behalf.
that was read about this by SGF Senator George Akume. The president said this election should not be about tearing down the social fabrics of the society and the things that bind us together. It should be about ideas. It should be about superior ideas. Let's debate ideas. Let's provide governing vision, and let's allow Nigerians to now decide whose idea they want to align with. And I think Nigeria will make that decision January next year.
Tope Ajayi, it's been such a wonderful having this conversation.
Great to be here.
Same here.
I'm
Same
hoping
here.
looking forward to a repeat performance.